Hi, I'm Declan Slave and this is Amy Brodie, and we are head boy and head girl of Portobello High School.
We wanted to make this video to show you why we need a new school and how a community Portobello High School would make our life much better.
Here are some views of pupil and staff at Portobello.
Well, my perfect school. I think it would have a lot of green space around it probably, and I think the office is a really important part of the school, so a big wide school, not like ours where it's just a tower block and everything's everywhere.
There's loads I would love. Ideally for the art department, space, light, better facilities, bigger desks, and especially I'd really like an art gallery to put all this work somewhere where it can really be appreciated. What we've got outside at the minute is a narrow, cramped corridor, something that doesn't show the work off well at all, and the kids really deserve that. And I think really for those outside in the community coming in, looking at the work, that's going to be always a plus point.
One that's not got 8 floors, one that's sort of 1, 2 or 3, so that you don't have to go up loads and loads of stairs, and that has grounds, so we don't have to go to the Jack Cane, because I really like doing PE, and you kind of waste so much time, and you don't get a lot of PE anyway, so it's just to be able to run about and not have to sit all the time.
There are so many pupils here. It's a huge school. There are people from all over Edinburgh, and not to sound cheesy, but they're the future of Edinburgh, and they deserve to have the best education they can, so they can do the best jobs they can, so they can provide a service for everyone really. And I think this school, it does the best it can, but in this building it's not the best education we can get.
So the health of the young people, I think, is being really detrimentally taken care of because of the lack of facility. And we really need seriously to do something. If you want Scottish youngsters to be fit and active, you've got to make something attractive that they want to go to. Ergo, you open the door, you go into the playing field, there's no kerfuffle about going all over this and having a bus and having money to pay for it or not, and just out the door, through the dressing rooms, into the playing fields, people will join in.
The staff here deserve a good building to come into and to allow them to be as creative in their teaching approaches as they would like to be. Pupils here deserve to feel good about coming to school and to enjoy working in a decent building. They deserve green space around the school. They deserve space to enjoy their free time.
We wanted to see what a big impact a new building could make, so we went to Queen Margaret University, who have just moved into their new purpose-built building. Okay, so what do you like about your new building?
I really like how it's really airy and so much natural light comes in, and it's really kind of inspiring to work. It makes me really motivated, much more compared to the old campus.
Guys, I remember when I was at school and staying after school, we had things to do, we had our homework, but we didn't want to do our homework and we wanted to play football and things. And I remember we used to always go to the Frigate Park, the park that surrounds the school, and we used to play football. And there's signs up in the park and they say golf games not allowed and stuff. And we used to constantly get chased by the police because they didn't even know, and they'd come down and they'd say, guys, what are you doing, no ball games? And we constantly had to remind the police that it was golf, and we were harassed so much that we were getting letters sent home and our names taken, and it was getting beyond the joke. That was when we were ranging from 13 all the way to 16, 17 year old, and we had nothing to do. And people complain about why we're out roaming the streets with nothing to do, when all we wanted to do was socialise with each other and play football and stay healthy and active.
A school is the heart of any community. We visited Curry Community High School to see an example of this.
I think the impact of this school with the facilities it has is huge, because we're talking about an area that doesn't have a local sports centre. In many ways that's what we double up as. With the new sports hall coming, we will effectively have a complete sports centre running here, which obviously creates many opportunities for people to take part in things that they couldn't before. The school, I think the amount of green space that we have and the outdoor facilities that we have gives us many opportunities. For example, if we didn't have the green space, we wouldn't have been able to put an AstroTurf there for a start when we were refurbished about 10 years ago. Now, the AstroTurf is one of the most popular facilities we have, certainly during the winter months. It's fully booked, and again, where else would they go?
My mother's studies classroom, for example, I'm sorry my teacher for saying this, but it's leaking when it rains. The roof can't hold the water and it just comes through. It leaks over people's seats, so they can't sit there.
You're often wasting time because you're normally missing, if you're going from like maths on the first up to geography on the 8th, you're sort of missing the first 5-10 minutes just getting up to the 8th floor.
If you go onto the 5th floor in the physics department, for instance, this black gunge when it's raining actually comes out of the sinks, and it's just not nice, and janitors have to come up and like clean it out to make sure it doesn't just spread all over the classroom, and it's just a horrible atmosphere to work in, really.
I find it very tiring going up all the stairs. It's not a building that makes you happy to look at, and you don't look forwards to learning in it at all.
We can't get away from the fact that we have a lack of flexible accommodation and overspill accommodation, and I feel it would allow us to be more creative if we had more flexible space. I feel very sorry for the youngsters with the lack of recreational space that this building has. There's a lot of concrete round about, and we're a big school, and there doesn't seem to be the spill-out space that's required to allow them to relax in groups and get to know each other in a more relaxed atmosphere. Everything seems so cramped.
Yesterday I was teaching at Jack Cain Centre, so by the time I get the class onto the bus, go to Jack Cain, into dressing rooms, get them changed, check the dressing rooms are secure, get the equipment out, teach, and come all the way back doing the reverse process, I'll have taught 15-20 minutes out of an hour. That's ridiculous. I use the word advisedly. It really is ridiculous to spend that amount of time travelling instead of being teaching, or the kids being inactive instead of being active.
I just imagine like grassy area, like nice and green, and maybe some like a picnic bench, even one, and just area where people can all socialise and like a big astro pitch and a rugby pitch, and people can, you know, go to, after school. They don't go home and sit down and watch TV. They come and like the school sort of carries on into the night, and it just
becomes
be
one
so
with the
better.
community.
Yeah, and for the public to want to come here and just to make Portobello something more than it already is.